Very cool. Well, you mentioned a little bit about mindset, and I know that you are big on mindset stuff. Talk to me a little bit about like what you're learning, some of the things you're doing to get you in the right frame of mind to come out and like just kill it every day.
Cool. For me, I use a lot of different methods and routines and habits that I've developed over years. I really struggled with being consistent for a long time
Yeah,
when it came to my sales, and so I'm sure like a number of the listeners out there have heard something about it, like a morning routine.
yeah,
And for me, that was always really important. So touching on how am I gonna get a little bit of exercise in the morning, sweat a little bit.
yeah.
How can I
What do you do for that?
I do. I bought like a stepper, like one of those
Oh,
little
you're a
stairmasters.
stairmaster guy, dude. That
Yeah,
thing's insane.
it's slow impact and keeps the
Yeah.
knees healthy. And yeah, and it gets me sweating, and it's a good way to start off my mornings. And then what I do while I'm waking up is I use I am statements. So no,
Hmm.
I am limitless in what I can do. I am
Hmm.
limitless. I know I'm going, like, for example, like say my proposed quota by my company was 7. I
Yeah.
would say I am doing all the right things every day to get 14, and I would say that 10 times, right? And then I would say,
No way.
and then additionally, I'd be like, I am going to get 14. Like, and it's just like it's like predetermined in my mind. Like, I'm going to
Yeah.
do whatever it takes. And so that, and
And talk to me about the repetition. Like, wh- okay, so you say it once, like, cool. Like, what is there something like? What's the benefit of doing it 10 times? That seems like
honestly,
either one you're freaking nuts, or two there's like
I am.
something psychological behind that
It's a
is smart.
It's a couple of things. One, it just started out as arbitrary, kind of like repetition, self-talk, auto-suggestion. If anybody's read, the book Think and Grow Rich, they know the theory of auto-suggestion.
What's
But
that?
it's basically like,
You're talking to an idiot here.
yeah, well,
I haven't read that many books.
it's kind of like it's like once you say something about yourself out loud multiple times, like you start
Yeah.
to believe it.
Okay.
And when you can add tonality and like emotion to that particular thing, it becomes more powerful. So like, maybe
Okay.
I started out like, I am going to hit 14 SAOs this month. I am
Yeah.
going to hit, and that's so like monotone, right? But
Yeah.
then it's like, it's much more powerful when I go, I am going to hit 14 SAOs this month, right? Like
And
it's
is that something that you build over time, or is it something that comes right away? Or is it something that you're all right? How do I frame this question? Is it something that you do automatically, or is it something that is part of the process that kind of happens over time?
It was something that I learned over time. I started out very bland with it and just like kind of trusting that hope, like an experiment, just seeing if it
Yeah.
would work. And then what I realized over time was I could change how I felt about it when I added tonality, when I added that emotion. And that actually helped me with my job too, because if I'm on the
Yeah.
phone all day and I'm not face to face with somebody, I really need to use how I use
Mhm.
rhythm and tonality in order to emphasize certain things on the phone that they might not normally hear if I'm just like blasting it off in a straight monotone, right?
Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, I'm listening to you right now, and you have so much like it's not bland at all. There's so much energy in just talking to me. Like you're not talking to a prospect. It's not like that, but it's almost like is it kind of does it almost build in like as you practice that concept?
Yeah, yeah, it does. Like, I mean, it's just like anything else. It's something that you build into your routine, and then you start to realize like, oh dang, like I can do this, and it changes how I feel about this, and
Yeah.
and it really kind of like spreads out to the rest of your life too. It's pretty
Yeah.
interesting because then I can use it on like, like my fitness goals
Yeah.
or my side hustles, whatever they are. Like
Yeah.
I can I can do that. So that's something that
Mm,
not only helped me as an SDR, but is helping me as a business person, as a,
yeah.
you know, as a father, as
Mm.
a son, you know, all of that stuff.
So as a father, as a son, so I have a 9-month-old. Yeah, 9-month-old. What about you? Do you have kids? Talk to me.
I have a 5.5-year-old son,
Mhm.
and his name is Sam, and he's a
Sam.
little blondie, and
Oh my gosh.
he's a very emotionally intelligent kid. I
I
think
can
he
only
gets it from his
imagine.
mom.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe a little bit from me, but we're both obviously, or not obviously, but we're also both very stubborn, and
Yeah.
don't give up on stuff. So hopefully he gets the good parts of us, and not so much the bad parts.
Awesome. So you talked all right, so you gave me the morning routine. What happens after that? Like how do you keep things going like throughout the day?
Something that I also add in my morning routine, and I would definitely encourage anybody to start to get back to. And what I mean by get back to is, you know, when we were children, we used to use our imagination all the
Mm,
time, right? And like how much fun that was, and it was real to us, right? Like it was real to
yeah.
play, you know, work, you know, whatever we were imagining, like an adventure or whatever, and like re-engaging that as you as it pertains to your goals and your wants in life. And so
Yeah.
I can like I can go on I go on a walk, or right before I start my day, I go on the walk by the beach, and
Yeah.
I run through what I call a visualization playbook, right? And so I know in my mind like what it looks like on Salesforce to see my name next to 14 SAOs, right? Like I can see that. And if you were to like imagine your manager's voice right now in your head, you could do it, right? And you could say,
Yeah.
"Hey, Mark, congrats on hitting 200% of your quota. You killed it this month." And like just kind of visualizing what that would feel like all
Yeah.
those kinds of things. I've been doing that for a while. That I think has helped me.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's deep right there. Okay, so you're on a walk and you're you're actually picturing what's these people saying these things,
Mhm.
picturing yourself in a position of power or in a position of winning,
Mhm.
and then you run into a pole or something.
Well, you know, I mean, I do a lot of like, I picture my director
Mm,
congratulating me, you know, like the executives being stoked on, you know, my performance, all of those things to create this, just this like atmosphere of excitement, and knowing that I can produce those things. Because, you know, I mean, we were told it as kids, but we would kind of forget it. It's like you can see it up here, you can, you know, make it happen in
yeah,
real life, right?
that's incredible. I feel like show over. Like that was all. That was all I needed.